The next one is from Renegade Man 83. Subject: Lana's WWE wrestling career moving forward.
Huh?
Ugh. Hey, K100 crew. WWE is now featuring Lana as a full-time wrestler lately. Do you see Lana succeeded as a singles wrestler in WWE? Plenty of fans have pointed out that she's being punished or being buried by WWE and Vince McMahon by being put through a commentary table by Nia Jax every week, 6 times. I guess this came in before this recent show. Over Rusev Miro calling out WWE on AWTV. There may be truth to that, but she's also winning some key matches like the Women's Battle Royal win a Fatal 4 match to determine the final member of Team Raw's 5-woman tag team elimination match for Survivor Series. Lana is now being used as a wrestler on a regular basis now. Obviously, she's not amazing in the ring, but is taking her bumps, and she is being paid to do it. She had to agree to being put through the table every week. It's not like anybody forced her into it, and she could have gone home if she didn't want to. Yeah, well, that's not. This guy doesn't know much about the wrestling business.
It doesn't seem that.
At least they're doing something with her and can't be that embarrassing compared to Miro, who's being paired with a boring, uncharismatic jobber feuding with the best friends over a video game named Alan. Like, really? Number one, you're way off on this. They're strictly and intentionally doing everything they can to embarrass Lana. Every angle she's in is done to embarrass her. The only thing they're doing is they're giving her a win here and there to keep her highlighted so they can embarrass her more. Because she just gets squashed and jobbed out every time she wrestles. I mean, you agree? You're watching this, right?
Including this Monday, they put it through a table again.
Again, it made her and did a match where she basically just cowered in fear to Nia Jax and just got the shit beat out of her.
I think they wanted her to quit. They don't want to fire her. They wanted her to quit.
Yeah, maybe you might be right.
It says that was the
I don't know why they would do that, though.
Bro, what do you mean why? They've been doing it for decades,
it's like,
bro. Stupid games. They just beat you down and embarrass you and humiliate you until we've seen it a million times.
You know what the thing about this is fascinating at the top level, because we know very well a lot of these guys. We've dealt with them a lot in the past. You know, we've had issues with a lot of these people, you know, that are at the top of the WWE food chain, right? Some of them, at least for me. But it's fascinating to me how the mindset that those guys have at the top, where the success of your company should be first and foremost, right? Is that they will literally, use petty nonsense to try to embarrass somebody and ruin their brand and ruin their marketability on the show that you're trying to use to try to build ratings up. And they will literally put wrestlers in positions to make it where people don't want to watch them. They'll use them on TV every week, but then they'll pretend that the reason that they don't draw is not from their doing; it's their fault. And I've seen that so much, and it's fascinating that in the year 2020, when wrestling's bottomed out in the ratings, that you still see them doing that today, like they haven't learned their lesson.
Right,
Bro,
it's almost like could you imagine if the director of The Sopranos was mad at Tony Gandolfino for some reason, and then in one scene he's like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like he just totally emasculates him and just buries him like they do in wrestling. Right. Nobody would ever do that. Nobody would ever do that because you're hurting your product. But they do it and do it and do it, and it's incredible. And
here, let me point out something. You're doing it. And you're doing it every week, and you're doing this and all the noise of all this. Raw just had their lowest number ever in the third hour of the show this past Monday night.
Ever. Wow.
And and every week for 7 weeks in a row now, you're making it your mission to devalue a character that is based on sex appeal and is actually really hot and would probably draw if you accentuated her like you did when she came in as Bruce Bro. And it's like, I don't.
She's never been the same after they separated her from Rusev. What was it? Rusev.
Yeah.
She's never been the same. Everything they've done has been brutal. She's got a good body, good looking, and she could.
They've stripped her of her sex appeal.
Right.
Like, she doesn't even have any sex appeal anymore because she just gets annihilated out there. She gets embarrassed. She can't, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she could, what? Unless she's bitching a lot backstage, she's passing all the tests because, like you said, they're trying to make her quit. You know what I'm saying? And she's not quitting, and she's not giving up, and she's doing everything she can. But let me tell you this. Her husband's doing her no favors. Okay. And let me tell you why. This is Miro's tweet today. My wife is a world record holder and the toughest person the world of professional wrestling have ever seen. Love you, Lana. Bro, what do you think the WWE is going to do when they read that tweet?
Yeah.
Like another 7 weeks of putting his wife to the table again.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Because he's selling it.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, and which means they're winning.
Right.
You know?
But they're like, good. He reacted. Guess what?
Yeah, now let's bury her some more.
Right,
Let's quit.
right.
Yeah, you know?
He doesn't understand what he just did. Right.
Yeah.
He just kicked the hornet's nest that was like asleep for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Boom.